It's one of the yogic secrets, to be honest with you, and it's extremely, extremely effective in calming yourself down almost instantly. But before we do yogic breathing, before we do vase breathing, we have to prepare our stomach and our body. And that's why we begin with Om chanting, so that the subtle energies get aligned. If all these pages are scattered, imagine playing cards. If they're all scattered, it's a different feel, but you align them all and they turn into one neat deck, and that's a different feel altogether. So chanting of Om aligns your energies that were scattered into one neat deck. With Pranayama, all of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Pranayama. There's many types of Pranayama, notably 14 types, out of which anulom and vilom is one, ascending and descending Pranayama. If we were to translate it in English, it's one type. It has three aspects, Pranayama. First is called Puraka. Puraka is when you inhale. You take the breath inside your body. That's called Puraka. And then the second aspect is called Kumbhak. Kumbhak is from the word Kumbha. Kumbha means a vessel, a ghata, basically a pot, like a potter makes those pots. When we do Kumbhak, our belly comes outside. It's like a ghata, it turns into a round shape. And while I'm at it, I may as well tell you that is the primary difference between yogic breathing and ordinary breathing. In normal breathing, in ordinary breathing, you're encouraged to fill your lungs with air. So when we breathe deeply, normally, we inflate our chest. But in yogic breathing, and that is a subtle difference, and this difference, understanding of this difference is going to determine your success in all yogic exercises that require channelization of the breath. In yogic breathing, we don't inflate our lungs at all. We push all the air in our stomach. So if I'm doing yogic breathing, for example, normal breathing is, and my tummy goes in automatically, or at least stretches. But in yogic breathing, it'll be, so if I've first taken out my breath, my tummy is going in, I'm exhaling as I'm speaking right now. My tummy is going in. Now when I do breathing, my lungs are there where they were. My chest hasn't inflated. I have taken all the air in my belly. And that's the key difference, and that's one difference you cannot afford to ignore. Unless you just want to keep breathing and have no effects. So Kumbha, so when I inhaled deeply and this tummy became round, this became a Kumbha. If you hold that breath at that time, then you are in a state of Kumbhaka. And there's types of Kumbhaka, which is beyond the scope of this camp. But Patanjali says, and I trust Patanjali more than I trust any of the contemporary gurus. Patanjali says, and for a very good reason, which I shall expound on in a moment, that you should not do Kumbhaka. You should not hold your breath unless you have attained perfection of the posture. Unless you have attained what's called asana siddhi, which means you can sit in one posture, one asana, for as long as you want. Minimum being, let's say, about 3 hours. Unless you can sit in one asana for about 3 hours, this is not for you, Kumbhaka. Because if you do it while perfecting your posture, then most definitely you are going to damage your nervous system, your central nervous system, in fact. Those who do pranayama and hold their breath, do kumbhak, without perfecting their posture, when they do their hands like this, it shakes. There is no shake in my hand right now. But if I stretch it, then there's absolutely no shaking. Even if I give it loose, set it loose. But those who do, their hands will shake like this. It weakens your nervous system if you do kumbhaka without first perfecting your posture. The second thing, which is most important in all breathing exercises, is you must have heard in pranayama that you inhale deeply, let's say from your left. Have you? Now that's the wrong way to start. Your body already has kind of, say, polluted air inside you. When you breathe in deep, all you're doing is pushing that air to all parts of your body, to every single tip of your body. All exercises, all breathing exercises, all yogic breathing exercises start with always, they start with exhalation. You always exhale first, empty yourself of the air that is in you, because there is oxygen in that air and some of it you have already consumed, and now there is a bit of toxicity in the air that's in your body. So we have to exhale first, empty ourselves completely, and then we fill ourselves in with a lot of air. Hopefully not hot air, but then we fill ourselves in with a lot of air. And that's the second aspect of breathing. So Puraka is the first, Kumbhak is the second, and third is Rechak. Rechak is exhalation. Now the Yogic Rule, it's 1, 4, 2. If you have taken 1 unit of time to breathe in, at the most you can hold it for 4 units of time, and you can exhale over 2. For example, if you have taken 1 second to breathe in, then I can hold it for 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick, 4 tick, and exhale over 2 seconds. If I've taken 4 seconds to breathe in, then I can hold for 16 and I can exhale over 8 seconds. Now, I don't recommend holding your breath. After you've practiced this pranayama, Kapalbhati, and the third thing we'll do, vase breathing, for about 6 months, day in, day out, without fail, for let's say 20 rounds in 1 session, and hopefully 2 sessions, but at least 1, then you can start holding your breath a bit after about 6 months. Don't do it right away, even if you've been doing pranayama for years before then, because I know without fail that not anybody who's been doing pranayama in this room has not been doing with exhalation first. You know why? You know how I know it? Because your energy will change. When you do it correctly, something in you will change, and another person who does it correctly will notice it right away. They will connect with you immediately. So, don't do holding of the breath. We'll only do inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation from the left, exhalation from the right. Inhalation from the right, exhalation from the left. No holding your breath. Once you practice it, initially we'll be using our thumb and finger or whatever, our hands to block the one nostril from the other. But once you practice it, then you can regulate your breath through just by sheer force of thinking. You can breathe from left just by thinking. You'll be breathing in from the left, and then you'll be exhaling from the right. The left breath, it's called Chandra Shwas. It's the moon breath. It's the cold breath. It's the cooling breath. The left, the passage, it's called Ida Nadi. And the right is called Pingala Nadi. And the right breath, it's called the solar breath or the fire breath or Saur Shwas. Those people who have excessive heat in their body, for example, if you breathe more from the left nostril, the heat in your body comes down. And if you breathe more from your left, it delays aging as well. It's very good for the body. All yogic practices, all yogis used to go in the Himalayas and meditate in pretty much snow there, because when you do yogic exercises, it generates a lot of heat in your body, and then if you know how to regulate your breath, then you can breathe from left more, which is very good for even calming your mind down. Now there is a method of shifting your breath whenever you want. It is additional information, but I'm giving you anyway. If you want to start your left breath, then you just sleep on your right hand side for a few minutes and your left breath will start. And if you want to start your right breath, you do the reverse. You sleep on your left for a little while and your right breath will start. I hope you must have heard that if you want to digest your food, you should always sleep to your left hand side. Because when you sleep to your left, your right breath starts, the fire breath, and it aids digestion.